Hey you guys, and welcome to my channel. Even though I'm doing this in live chat format, this is more so a video that I'm going to be pumping out. So maybe a little less interactive with you guys. But as I've been saying in my last uploads, I find this should just be like such an easier, simplified format for me. I can come on here live, get the content out, and YouTube will go ahead and edit and upload for me. Okay, that really works for my schedule and my lifestyle. So let's talk about trust, you guys. I have a whole playlist on this channel titled Trust. And I believe there's probably over 100 videos in that playlist. So there's a lot of reinforcement in there for those of you who have struggled with trusting the wrong people in your life. Okay. So in this video, I'm going to talk about 13 types of people that you just might want to be careful with, basically. And they may be a lot slippery than you think, or maybe you shouldn't be putting things past people, but you shouldn't be anyway. Because a lot of times survivors really need to redefine what trust means to them, and also make sure they're given the appropriate amount of trust or their lack thereof trust in situations. Because we can be too trusting when we don't understand the power of trust, okay? So let's go ahead and talk about these 13 types of people that you may not be able to trust. And the last one on this list is probably going to be a little surprising to you guys. But, I'm not here to tell you guys what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what you need to hear, but hopefully you want to hear what you need to hear, and then I will be telling you what you want to hear. All right. Let's just go ahead and get into this list. The first person on here that you should not be trusting is a person with a big mouth. Of course, a person with a big mouth. A type of person that easily fits into this category is a gossiper. And, they say, hey, you shouldn't pass judgments on people. Well, as I approach almost 40 years of life, I have found this to be true more than not for the 13 people that we're going to get into on this list. But people with big mouth, when they come and gossip to you, it really is true more than not that, yeah, they're going to be talking about you to somebody else too, because it's just in their nature to do these things. All right. And this is whether they have the facts on things or not. So people with a big mouth, they cannot be trusted because you're not going to have privacy with them. You're not going to have privacy. And while it may be fun to ha-ha and kiki with them, and maybe even indulge in some of them gossiping about this one and that one, do not get it twisted. They're taking inventory of you too. And when they get that itch or they feel like they got something too juicy inside of them, they will be running their mouth to somebody else. And, this channel does deal a lot with narcissistic abuse. So you can best believe, and this is, another betrayal that happens, all the secrets and all that confiding you did during the love bomb stage. Yeah, they're going to be running their mouth during the value and discard phase, where they're just chronically trying to protect their image. So, there's no boundaries at that point. Whatever they got is ammunition. Consider your secrets little bullets coming out of a gun to shoot you down and lift them up. They're going to be doing that. So please be careful, whether you're dealing with a narcissist or not, what you bestow on a people. Letting people know all your vulnerabilities, number one. In that trust playlist, I tell you how predators, they're looking for people that will be open. Hold on a minute. That was one of the twins, you guys. It's so cute. They're, pretty much potty trained, but for some reason, it makes them feel happy to announce to me, Mommy, I got a pee-pee. And then it's like, I have to tell them, yeah, go ahead to the bathroom. And they do this every time. It's cute, but yeah. So yes, people with big mouths, please be careful. And there's a difference between you being closed off to people and leaning towards being private as well. Okay. Learn to be more private. That is definitely going to be my advice to you guys. All right. The second person is the loud mouth. So there's a difference between having a big mouth and being a loud mouth. A person can have a big mouth and be a loud mouth at the same token. But the loud mouth is that attention-seeking person, and this person is needy for validation as well. A lot of times they don't have any filters, what's coming out of their mouth, and they run off of their emotions the same as the big mouth person. So your secrets are not going to be safe with them as well. So yes, be careful about loudmouth people. And especially if you come into conflict with them, then they're really going to be opening their mouth loudly in regards to whatever the situation is. The third person, you guys, are liars. This one is a no-brainer. If you find that someone is a liar, even if it's a little white lie, because, when people lie unnecessarily, that lets you know they'll definitely lie about something big. Like, you ever just meet someone, i.e. the narcissist, who just, after you figure out they lied about something, like, well, why did you even need to lie about something so stupid? Like, some people are really habitual with it, So definitely liars. You can't trust them. Number 4, inconsistent people. A lot of times survivors want to give people credit for little bits of efforts, but inconsistent people have to be put on this list. People that are wishy-washy, that's another code word or possibility for someone that can be two-faced. One day they're here, one day they're not. One day they're your friend, one day they're not. You can't. When someone's inconsistent, you're not sure who the real person is other than that's an inconsistent person. But that's definitely not someone that you're going to be able to trust with things. You can't trust them. Can't trust them. Next on my list are going to be people that are too emotional. People that are too emotional. People that are too emotional aren't going to be doing what? They're not going to be rolling off of their logic. So how are you going to trust somebody that just floats with the wind of their emotions? We could feel all types of emotions. And, people that are run by their emotions, they just do what they feel rather than what they need to do, what they should do, what they're responsible to do. So, you're never going to be able to trust somebody that's just too damn emotional. There's no balance with them. All right. The next person on my list here is a person with a shady past. And most of the time, when we meet these narcissists, they have shady pasts. They have to. So, shady pasts. Because most of the time, zebras do not change their stripes. And, we be wanting to think like, people can change, which they can, but it has to be proven. And not just through some little love bomb stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be proven that you can trust this person. So, shady passes. These are people that are two-faced, backstabbers, disloyal, and I want to distinguish here a shady past versus someone that just may have had some hardships. That's completely different. Like, we meet a guy with 6 kids and with 5 different women. Number one, that's shady and irresponsible. And then he's not in none of their lives. That's shady to me. There's something shady about that. All right. And habitual on top of that. Someone that has pages and pages of records in and out of jail, but now they meet you and they turn over a new leaf and they're not that criminal anymore. They don't have these issues anymore. Not saying that people can't change, but you damn sure better not be trusting them right off the rip, and probably not never. You see what I'm saying? So, those shady passes, they count for something. They have a history of doing this and that. That counts for something. All right. The next thing that I have here on my list is, trust your gut feelings. You got to trust your gut feelings with this. If it's something inside of you that just rubs you the wrong way about that person, and maybe you can't even put your finger on it just yet, but it's just something inside of you, then you know what? Respect that. Honor that. A lot of times we want to, we make excuses for other people, but we don't allow ourselves to be able to have our own discernments. Oh no, you're not being fair, because we're, a lot of times when you've been abused, you may be trained to shoot yourself down. But no, if you trust your feelings, as a matter of fact, the healthier you start getting, you need to tap into that and use that. Okay. The next person on my list, you guys, is someone that's too damn secretive. Like, there is a difference between being private and being too damn secretive or sneaky. Okay. There's a difference between being private and close the fuck off. Like, you have to know the difference between the two to be able to decipher which one you're dealing with. But someone that's too damn secretive got something to hide. All right. And sidebar, they don't trust your ass anyway. So, if they're being secretive and extra FBI-ish on you, why on earth should you be extending them any type of trust? Because they clearly don't trust you back. If you are, it's going to be lopsided at that point. You'll be telling them all your secrets, and they'll be working even harder to hide their mess. You see what I'm saying? The next thing that I have here on this list is, if things don't add up and make sense, narcissists, they tend to do this too. They lose track of their lies. Eventually, they tell so many. And if you have a good memory and you're actually listening, actively listening to, what people are telling you, as you should be, they'll tell you one thing on one day and another thing on another. And then they'll pretend like they don't remember telling you the other thing verbatim when you remember word for word. So yeah, when things don't add up and make sense, obviously that distrust flag needs to be flying pretty high there. The next kind of person, you guys, is someone that doesn't support you in life. I mean, this kind of person could be an undercover hater or frenemy, or they could just be an irresponsible ass person that never has their life in order to where they could be of help to others, and reciprocate and actually be a healthy, good friend or family partner or whatever position they are in your life. Their life may be so drama filled that it's hard for them to support other people because their life is always in shambles. But either way, like, that's a dark cloud of energy you really don't want to bring into your life. All right. And drawing upon that, it's one thing if someone doesn't support you, but if you meet someone with little to no support, and use your discernment with this one too. But if nobody is supporting them, if their whole family turned their back on them, they don't have nobody, and I know sometimes survivors can be in pickles of a situation where they don't feel like they have support, but they actually may have support that they're not tapping into. But sometimes really toxic people burn a lot of bridges. And so much so until when they meet you, like, you may be all that they got at that point. They're starting over here. And, there's something really suspicious about that, because people of good character and whatnot, other people tend to want to keep them around and be with them. And they're usually pretty beneficial and they can reciprocate people. So usually those type of people, other people will fuck with them. Okay. Even if they're jealous of them, even if there's other things, but it's like they have no support, nothing. That could be, a red flag for sure. The next kind of person, you guys, is someone that's full of excuses. Like, they just never take accountability. Everything was always someone else's fault. A person with excuses may not have as much structure in their life as well. They're probably pretty mediocre, and it's always, no, it was them, is there the reasons, and all of this and that. trust me, they're going to have that with you too. When you guys hit a bump in the road, or it's going to be your fault as well, just like it was everybody else's before them. All right. So you can't trust a person like that too, because number one, their perception is already jaded. Nothing is usually always just one person. Like, you don't have no role in it. Like, life, that just goes against the whole cause and effect, okay, theory and everything. It's not even a theory, it's just a fact. But yeah, to say that you don't have no involvement, you didn't play any role in nothing, definitely nobody that you can trust. Now, the last thing that I'm going to say here, you guys, for this video is just think about all the stuff that I just said here. And do you have any of these qualities? And if you do, can you trust yourself at that point? You know, that's something to consider. Can you even trust yourself if you're, you know, one of these things on this list? So it's possible sometimes we can be in such a broken state on our shadow side that actually we can't really even trust ourselves. And that's why sometimes when they're doing a 12-step program, or they're trying to recover from some type of addiction early on, they know they need a sponsor. They know they have to have certain people to, you know, hold them accountable. They know they have to structure their life in a way to where they're going to be able to increase the odds of being able to continue to intercept the aspects or the toxic aspects of themselves that, you know, they're trying to rectify or, you know, correct within them. So sometimes that person, you know, that we're not trusting or needing to trust could be ourselves. But the whole goal with that is, since we have to, you know, everywhere we go, we will be with ourselves. Rebuilding that trust in yourself is something that, you know, you're going to have to work on. And as you do the work and you make better decisions in your life, you'll be able to, you know, start to rebuild that trust with yourself. You know, rebuilding it with external sources that are like this, you know, don't even worry about having to do that. But of course, you have to stay dedicated with yourself. So if you have some character flaws that you need to work on with yourself, and you're willing to be honest about that, then yeah. Because, you know, survivors can do these things for different reasons. And similar reasons, because narcissists, you know, they do these things for manipulation, some of these things, and survivors may be doing it too, to try to get accepted, to try to get noticed and such. So you know, you may have to work with yourself on these things as well. So before I do end this live chat, I will just look at the, you know, the couple of chats that we have over here and acknowledge them. So hey, Yvette, honey. Yvette says, hi, Lakia. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I've had to check some big mouth friends, telling them to keep my name out of their mouth. Yes, honey. And do not give them any more ammunition. And, you know, once, you know, it's okay to have a confidant, but make sure they're a worthy confidant, you know. And sometimes you can just test people, give them a little bit of something, you know, that's not too serious, and see what they do with it. Sit back and see what they do with it. You know, if it starts to circulate in your group of friends, and, you know, you'll know, like, okay, well, good thing I didn't really go in on her. You know, it was just a test and they failed it, or hey, maybe they might pass the test, you know. So in this stage in my life, I go to a therapist because legally they aren't allowed to go run their mouth and tell my business to nobody. You know, if somebody's going to tell my business, I'm going to tell it, you know. So Cheryl Slay says, if they will gossip about others to you, you best believe they will gossip about you to others. Oh, yeah. It's just a fact. Like, it has not been proven wrong yet. It really hasn't, you guys. So like I said, I have made a whole playlist on this channel full of topics of trust, to help you do that shadow work on learning how to trust yourself, learning how to have appropriate levels of trust with your external environments, learning how to have the right perceptions when it comes to trust, okay? Because empaths can definitely be too trusting, all right? I hope that this video helps someone. I will be putting up more content, and I will probably continue to do it through live chat. So you might see me hop on here as I'm ready to do a live chat. Like I'm about to do another one probably right after this. It's for those of you who are actively dating or actually thinking about dating. I have a topic here of talking about, learning how to gauge people's interest in you, because a lot of times we've completely missed the mark with that narcissist and really got confused about being able to gauge their interest in you. So I want to make a video like that on this channel because I do think that it will help survivors, especially those of you who are not giving up on, what you want, which is that healthy relationship. And you shouldn't, and you really shouldn't. So I'm going to go ahead and in this live chat, if you guys are interested in that topic, learning how to gauge people's interest in you and you can just, this could span outside of romantic. Psychology can work in all relationships, business relationships, you trying to make a sale, anything. You can take this information and spread it around. All right. So with that being said, you guys, if you came into the chat, make sure you hit that like button. It definitely supports the channel and helps it grow. Go ahead and subscribe if you're a newbie and you're interested in more content. Plenty of content for you to already go through and to even begin to try to catch up to where we are today. Other than that, you guys continue to do the work. Never give up on yourself. And until next time, please take care.